What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I want to cover this little bit of a spill to the downside that Bitcoin has gotten today. Is this the start of a much bigger move down? And if it is, what are those key levels of support that you need to be keeping your eye on, potentially to take some fresh long positions? So I want to cover that, go over the key levels of support, and I also want to talk about the trades that I'm in right now. I'm now in a short and a couple of longs. I want to break those down for you and talk about where I'm expecting Bitcoin to go next. That way, you guys can anticipate the move before it happens and make some money trading this crazy thing they call Bitcoin. So without further ado, guys, we got a lot to look at today. So let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. So guys, here we are on the Bitcoin chart, and you can see we have gotten a slight move to the downside today. Now, the real question is, what is coming next for Bitcoin? And is this something we should be worried about? Well, if you guys have been watching my live stream, you will know that we were looking at some bearish signals that were looking to print on the higher time frames, and unfortunately all of those signals are now actually on the chart printing, and those signals were sitting on the higher time frames, such as the 3-day. You can see we did have this red dot that was looking to print. It is now actively here. 4-day, same thing, red dot now printing. 5-day also has that red dot printing, and then the 6-day and the weekly are now printing those red dots as well. Now, when we were looking at these signals, we were talking about how sometimes these high time frame red dots do give us significant moves to the downside. And just to pull up some TA for context here, I'll pull up our current range that we're looking at, which does still sit at between about $71,500 and about $63,300. So the main things we were looking at, guys, was not only just those red dots that looked like they were about to print on the higher time frames, but also the fact that we have come up and tested very, very key resistance here, which is the value area high of the range. And typically when we approach these levels and we cannot break above them, guys, we are likely to get accepted back into that range and start a move down closer to our point of control. And then once we start losing that point of control, we could potentially and unfortunately look for that bigger move back to the downside, targeting the value area low of the range. Now, there is no guarantee that we get down here, but typically when you see the volume profile break above a value area low, you oftentimes see it go to the POC and then the value area high, which we did take this long trade in the premium Discord. And when you reject those value area highs, you're expecting the same exact thing, but in the reverse direction. And now that we are starting to lose this point of control, this does technically open the door to get a move all the way down to the value area low. It doesn't necessarily guarantee it, but we do see this play out more often than not. Now, on top of that, guys, we also don't forget about the red dots on the higher time frames, but we also have some money flow coming on into the red here on some pretty important time frames, such as the 2-hour, such as the 3-hour, now getting that money flow crossover. And we also have our 4-hour money flow starting to work its way down. Now, as long as these medium time frames have money flow in the red, we would have to anticipate that the trend is locally more likely to continue back to the downside. So any pumps to the upside from here on out, I will be treating as potential lackluster moves. And if we get stuck under this POC, guys, this is our key level of resistance, $67,750. If we cannot get back above this level and we get stuck below this POC, I do think it's going to be more likely to get a move down to this value area low. But there are also some other intermediary levels that I want to bring up, two very specific ones. So let me go ahead and show you those right now. So you guys can see here, we do have a golden pocket sitting right here at about $64,666. So again, although we are going to potentially anticipate if we get stuck under that POC, we are going to look to go to the low. However, we have to understand we do have this golden pocket retracement, but I would still favor this lower level for looking for long positions just because we have the confluence of the value area low and that 786 Fibonacci retracement level sitting super close to that value area low. So in my opinion, guys, if we are going to continue down here, which technically money flow would be pointing towards, this golden pocket and this value area low 786 are going to be the next two major zones I'm watching. And in the medium term, that is what I'm looking at. Now, this is the same range we've been looking at for 3 months now, so there's really not much new here. It just took a long time to finally get a break of one of the key levels, in this case being the POC. So just keeping it very simple. The trading strategies we use with these volume profiles are extremely reliable and extremely predictable. We simply look for longs on the deviation of our value area low, and we look for the shorts on the deviations of the value area high. And this more often than not does play out in our favor, and we are just simply seeing this play out once again. Now, I do want to go ahead and hide some of these more macro levels, and I want to jump into the more local scalp levels that we have been looking at on the live stream. So guys, this is the local range we've been looking at. Now, I am not currently in a Bitcoin short. However, I did take a similar short on Ethereum. I did miss my entry here on Bitcoin, but shout out to the premium Discord. They were able to get that information before the setup even presented itself. And what happened? We got our move all the way up into this level, got those confirmations that we were looking for, and that short wound up playing out beautifully. First off, looking to target that value area high, as when you deviate above a value area, the value area high becomes very important support. So that was the first target for that trade. And then that second target was going to be to get accepted back into the local range, get stuck under that value area high, and look for the drop all the way down to the POC value area low. And if you go ahead and look at the price action here, guys, very simply put, what happened? We got the move up into our level, got the SFP along with other confirmations, got to move down to the value area low, and then simply put, we got dumped into the volume profile, came back up, bearish retest, we got stuck underneath, and where was the next place for price to go? Well, logically speaking, based off the volume profiles, we looked for that value area low, and we have absolutely smashed that final take profit. Now, I have not personally taken that trade, but I did take it on Ethereum, as I just missed my trade here. I was not sitting at my desk on this setup, but the premium Discord did get that information, but I am currently short here on Ethereum, as well as scalp long on Bitcoin. So here you go. Here is that Ethereum short. I did already take about $300 or $400 in profit. Blowfin doesn't show you that for some reason. There's no option to show it here, like on Femex or something. But I did take about $300 in profit already off this trade. Still up $1,462 or 403%. Not too bad for a quick little short. And then I will break down this little scalp long that I'm in as well. But there is that Ethereum short. I will take a look at the Ethereum chart very, very quickly in just a minute. Shout out to Blowfin. Guys, we do actually have a promotion going on with Blowfin for the CandleMafia. If you guys are looking to save a little money on your fees or get a deposit bonus, you guys can check the link in the description down below if you're interested in taking advantage of those deals. But back to the charts here, guys. Simply put, I am scalp long on Bitcoin here, so let me go ahead and pull up that trade really quick. I did take this trade based off a swing failure pattern of this wick here alongside the CandleMafia. We had actually been waiting for this setup for quite some time. However, we did get the drop today. Drop this in the Discord just before we hit the level, letting them know, hey guys, we're about to see this setup present itself. Make sure you're keeping an eye on the level. And simply put, we came right into that level. I did take that long position right here. Nothing too crazy. It's only up about 8% right now, but this was based off a swing failure pattern of this wick. Now, this is a very low risk trade for me, guys, because if we do turn around here, we have a very clear invalidation point right here below that swing failure wick. This is why I love swing failure patterns so much. But there you go, guys. We're absolutely ripping every dollar we can out of this market. We SFP the highs here, and now we are long off an SFP down here. Now, I would put a lot lower probability on this one playing out just because we are fighting the local trend. But the idea here is to at least try to get a little bit more of a move up into this value area low where we could potentially take a TP1 and then move our stop loss to break even, making it a guaranteed winning trade. Now, you have those key levels to the downside in case the drop continues. You know what levels you should be watching or what levels you'd be expecting to eventually come in. And if anybody alongside me had taken a degenerate scalp long here, you now know the key levels of resistance above that you need to be watching at to potentially take some profit. Now, guys, before I let you go, I do want to go ahead and check out Ethereum here, as this is the bigger trade that I'm in right now, but we are up 1,500 unrealized with some profit taken already, up 415%. Not too shabby for a nice little scalp. I only have $468 of my own money in here, and the reason I show that, guys, is because a lot of people think you need a ton of capital to make any money trading, and that's just simply not true if you understand what you're doing. Now, leverage can be risky, but it can also be very beneficial to help you grow your account without having to start with a ton of money. So you guys can see here, I like to show this anytime I take trades like this. $468 is all I am risking of my own money, and I don't plan on getting liquidated. So even if I lost this trade, which doesn't look likely anytime soon, but even if I lost that trade, I would stop out for much smaller of a loss than $468. But this is just proof. You know, we're up, I believe I took about $300, $400 off this trade, almost up $2,000 here, only using $468. It's, you know, absolutely beautiful. So I just want to show you guys, like, I think it's a lot more tangible to show you guys a $468 trade. Now, this is a $14,000 position with the leverage that I'm using, But I just like to show everybody, I think everyone thinks they need a $25,000 account, a $50,000, $100,000 account to make any money trading, and that's just simply not true. $1,500, $2,000 in a few days is not too shabby. But going back to the charts here, guys, I do want to break this trade down for you a little bit and just break some Ethereum TA down. As I have taken this trade, let me go ahead and hide this really quickly. I have taken this trade in anticipation of potentially coming back down to our local value area low. And then as we lost this level, we understand that we're also getting accepted into the larger range, which could potentially give us much more downside. And you can see since we've lost this range, we have then gotten to move to the POC of the range, and we are now losing that POC. And if we can not reclaim this, guys, Ethereum is kind of on the chopping block here, in my personal opinion, because if you look here, although we do have a significant amount of small, high-volume nodes here that could act as support, we actually do have a few significant levels within here. Most of our volume is up here and down here, which gives us a slight gap, which could potentially cause a very fast move down. Remember, anytime you see quick moves up, once you start breaking structure and you crack back into that gap, it does open up the opportunity to get another quick move back in the opposite direction. Fast move up could mean fast move down. If we do not hold this support, this would be very bad for Ethereum. However, very good for my Ethereum short position. But this is the context that I'm looking at in this trade. We simply wait for the deviations above the volume profile. We pull that fixed range volume profile, find the confirmations to look for the short, and then we use the larger profile for context to manage and deal with that trade once it starts playing out. In my opinion, key levels of support here are going to be this spider line right here sitting at about 34.74, and that POC. I would kind of make this a little bit of a range, guys, because this is, these levels are important. You got to get back above this blue box if you want Ethereum to survive before getting another big drop down. And then we also do have some other daily naked points of control below. But again, I do want to stress here, guys, we do have a bit of support down here, but these levels down here are, in my opinion, not as strong as this POC spider line. So we start losing this. If we don't get bounces off these daily naked points of control, we may be on our way to fill this entire gap. And then taking a look at Market Cipher B, guys, we do have Ethereum looking somewhat bearish here with a money flow crossover on the 4-hour. Money flow crossover into the red on the 5-hour, as well as some of these other key time frames, such as the 8-hour and some of these other higher hourly time frames, 10-hour, 12-hour, all looking to cross over into the red, and this would make us naturally anticipate a bit more downside. So are we in for a boring slash sideways slash bearish summer? I hope not. I hope we could get a big bounce to come in here, guys, but the charts are the charts, and we have to make all our decisions based off actual information, not just an emotional bias. So hopefully this video was able to clear some things up for you guys and give you a little bit more clear vision onto where price is likely to head next. So now you have those key levels of support, resistance, you got the whole plan, the trades, everything. So hopefully that helps you guys out. And with all that being said, that's all the time I got for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Frankie Candles out.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know.